The Game Awards celebrated its 10th anniversary last night, and I've been following this show since the very first one, so it felt like a good chance to finally give this show a little overview this year. In this video, I share the most interesting announcement from this year's edition. Before the main show, we got a standard pre-show for 30 minutes, which usually mostly consists of very insignificant stuff, but I was surprised to see a few interesting titles here. First, we got a new Ninja Gaiden announcement, which is a very old NES Times series from Team Ninja. This series is famous for its very fast-paced action and very high difficulty, and they were pushing challenging games when Souls games didn't exist yet. The new game is developed not by Team Ninja though, but by the Game Kitchen, who made its name with two Metroidvanias called Blasphemous. Good fit for a studio if you ask me. The game will arrive in summer 2025 on all large platforms. Next, we have what seems to be a nice ideological sequel to the cozy hit Unpacking called One Move Away. Looking at the trailer, I was sure it's from the same developer, even the idea of changing gears looked similar, but it's actually from a different team, Ramage Games. I expect a lot of nice hours packing your car for road trips. I'm definitely playing. This game is coming for Xbox, PlayStation and PC in 2025. We also got to see a new trailer with gameplay for Slay the Spire 2. It's a card deck building kind of game mixing dungeon crawler and roguelike mechanics, and I loved the first game. It's great for burst type of gaming for quick 30-minute sessions. Judging by this trailer, the gameplay look exactly the same, so we should expect a ton of new content, which is perfect. The game is coming as early access on Steam in 2025. Those are the games that caught my attention on the pre-show, and then we got to the main show and it started huge, because we got to see a first proper trailer of the new Witcher 4 from RPG geniuses at CD Projekt Red. I'm a big fan of everything this studio does, but most importantly I'm a Witcher fan from the very first game, so every bit of info about the new part is a gem to me. The biggest news from the trailer is that Ciri is the main protagonist now, and that's fantastic news. I was afraid that they would go too far from the main trilogy, but it seems it's the same good old Witcher a little bit later, since we see Ciri older and with a new fantastic look. It's a first CD Projekt game using Unreal Engine 5 instead of their own Red Engine, and everything looks stunning, and the vibe is here too. The trailer is on par with previous Witcher trailers, featuring some small village story and the main Witcher job hunting monsters. I am super excited about the next trilogy of the saga, but unfortunately we don't have the date yet, so I think it's not gonna be 2025. Next we have another release from Software, an innovative studio from Japan who's basically created the Souls genre, and it's another Elden Ring installment, but not the sequel. The game called Elden Ring Night Rain, and it's a spin-off of the series. They pointed out that it's a co-op game, so I would guess it won't be playable as a single-player adventure. On one side, co-op adventure seems cool, on the other it means it'll be a completely different game, testing the territory of the multiplayer dungeon crawler scene. Not sure how the Soul fans will feel about that. The game is coming in 2025 on Xbox, PlayStation and PC. Next interesting project was from legendary game designer Fumito Ueda, who created absolutely cult games like Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, and more recent The Last Guardian. The game seems to be touching on the topic of huge mechas in some kind of apocalyptic environment. We didn't have much in the trailer, and the game doesn't even have a name yet, codenamed Project Robot. The game looks interesting, and knowing the developer, will probably get another fantastic world to explore. Shadow of the Colossus remains one of the most emotional games with least amount of storytelling for me personally. If you haven't played, I certainly recommend checking the remaster version out. Next, I was super happy to see a new project from Hazelight Studios. I think they're the biggest name who is moving co-op-focused adventures forward in the industry now, and with my wife we had a fantastic time playing their games, especially the latest It Takes Two. The new game called Split Fiction will be featuring a cool mechanic that allows mixing science fiction with a fantasy world, which to me sounds like a perfect setting since I love both. We'll probably have tons of fun and cool cooperative gameplay too. The game is coming on March 6, 2025 on PC, PlayStation and Xbox, and as with It Takes Two, you only need one copy of the game for both players, which is a really cool gesture from the developers. Borderlands 4 got its first gameplay trailer. I know the series has tons of fans, but I for one would like to see Gearbox making something else, to be completely honest. I'll probably play this one for co-op experience as I did with the first 3 games, but it's still the same Borderlands from look of it, so I'd expect the same formula again. The game is releasing on PlayStation, Xbox and PC in 2025. Another long-running old series from Capcom, Onimusha, got a new installment, Onimusha Way of the Sword. The series has quite a cult status, so if you're a fan of the series or samurai demon supernatural adventures in feudal Japan sounds cool to you, this one is for you. I think this setting actually recently got increasingly popular with Nioh and Ghost of Tsushima releases. It's also been a while since the last main game in Onimusha series was released almost 20 years ago, and there's still quite a wait for this one too. All we got is a quick teaser and the release date in 2026 on Xbox, PlayStation and PC. More good news for co-op games fans to play with their family. In a very funny and self-deprecating trailer, we got a new announcement from the creators of Overcooked, Ghost Town Games, called Stage Fright. The game looks cool, there's a lot of fun and cooperation will be involved, I'm sure. We personally had an amazing time playing both Overcooked games, so I'm excited for this one. Mafia: The Old Country was announced a while back, but we got a new trailer, but unfortunately almost with zero gameplay. I'd love to see more gameplay to judge, but I'm super excited about another Mafia, and the setting of Sicily in the beginning of 19th century seems really cool. We also got a release window in summer 2025 on Xbox, PlayStation and PC. An interesting announcement was for the game called Dispatch. The trailer stated that this is from the studio behind Wolf Among Us, so I immediately thought it's a new Telltale game, but it turns out it's a new studio called Ad Hoc Studio, so it's people from Telltale Games apparently, and the game will follow the classic Telltale formula from the look of it, and animation looks nice in the game too, but that's all I got. And we got Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey as voice actors. It's cool, but big names in games usually don't mean anything really. The game is coming in 2025 and has so far only been announced for Steam. Next, yet another cult old game, Okami, gets a sequel announcement. The game development is led by legendary Hideo Kamiya as a part of yet another Capcom confusing sub-studio, this time called Clovers. We don't know anything about the game yet, but many people will be happy that the legendary franchise is back. And finally, at the end, we got one more thing. And yes, that's finally a new project from Naughty Dog Studios. And what's even better, it's a completely new IP called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. I have had enough remasters and remakes from Neil Druckmann and the company, and I'm super excited because Naughty Dog makes brilliant storytelling cinematic games. Despite having a completely new setting for them, the game is a space adventure. I was hooked right away by the amazing trailer with their significant charisma and cinematography. The game and the setting look incredible, and hey, it's the first Naughty Dog original game fully made for PlayStation 5, but no release date yet. I honestly think we could not have expected a better 10th anniversary of the Game Awards. There were a lot of more announcements, but those caught my attention the most. Of course, it's still a winning contest, so awards happen too, but this year this part of the show had felt as being on a supporting role, and the main event was focusing on new games and entertainment. And honestly, it's great. We need more shows like this, especially after E3 has officially died. I had a great time watching it, and I hope you like this compilation I put together for you. Thank you so much for watching it. If you like more content about video games, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Keep playing, take care, and I'll see you soon.